Varsity's 3 out of 5, best of 5. And each set is 225. Win by 2, no caps, okay? There's intervals. In between each set is calling it, interval. After the first, second set, there's 3 minutes in between each set. So as the second referee, you manage all that. R1 just stays in the stand and he just sits, he just waits, okay? Unless they have some kind of promotional deal going that night, recognizing seniors and all that, it may last for 5 minutes. But you will determine that at your pre-match conference with the coaches. When you're doing your conference, you'll ask the coach, hey, are we doing anything special tonight? Or are we just gonna roll right into the 3, okay? So during pre-match conference, we have the coaches and the captains, whoever they may be. They don't have to be the starting players, So when you blow your whistle, indicate that coin flip's going to take place. Home team always selects the bench in high school, and then the visiting team gets the other bench. So when you call the captains together, the coaches should provide you with a roster. Okay, that tells all the players that are participating, and you just go through it during your pregame check after you do your coin toss and all that. So we'll get into that later. You do your coin flip. The visiting team calls heads or tails, so you need a coin. All right. We'll go over the supplies that you will need in a minute, but this is basically getting you started with the game. Okay. So the visiting team calls a coin toss. If they win, they decide service or service or receive, because the benches have already been determined by the home team. Okay. Same thing if the home team wins, they decide whether they want to receive or serve. So once you do that, you let the scorekeeper know, hey, so-and-so's serving, so-and-so's receiving. Then you get them on the court. And typically in high school, it's 5 minutes, but ask the coaches. You can shorten it up if they don't want to go as long. I like to always let the coaches decide. But typically it's about 5. And then they get 2 minutes of shared serving or something. Okay? So let's go over uniforms real quick. H-Cal does have a specific shirt that they provide, and you can purchase that through KB. Black slacks, no warm-up pants, no jogging pants, things like that. Females, it's black. I know it's harder to get pants for females, but do the best you can. If you have belt loops, wear a black belt, okay? We need to look professional out there. All right. Part of the job is to look professional. If y'all do other sports, y'all know that.
Yes.
So, black shoes, black socks. You're perfect for club. They love those white shoes. So that's a different group. But high school, it's all black, black socks, black pants, and an H-Cal shirt. You'll also need a whistle, preferably black, with a black lanyard. So try to buy a whistle that they call it a P whistle, and I think they do use that more out in the football field.
Right.
It has a different sound. So you want to get a Fox 40 or something.
Oh, okay.
Something that's loud, because you want to get their attention. All right, a set of red and yellow cards. They do have kits that they sell online, so I asked KB to provide a link where you guys can purchase all this stuff.
We still have it from soccer. We have the red and yellow cards already.
Okay, so if you do other sport, you have them.
Yeah.
There's a chain that you measure the net with, so that's part of our pregame responsibilities.
Yes, sir.
A flipping coin. It could be a regular coin, but have something big enough that you're not going to drop. And they come in different sizes. I like mine small because I keep them in my pocket and I try not ever to use them. So this is coin. See how big that is? That way when you flip it, you're not hunting for it. Okay? That's what the chain looks like. They're separated by those yellow dots. since we do boys and girls here, the last deal on the chain that's orange,
Yes, sir.
that's the height of the boys' net. So when they raise the net up, put that up there, check the height of your net. The girls will be the second one. It's 7'4" and 1/8 for the girls,
Does it say?
and 7'9" and 5'8". 7'11" and 5'8" for the boys.
One more time, say it again. 7.
7'4" and 1/8
Right.
for the girls' net, and 7'11" and 5'8" for the boys' net.
I got you. What's up, sir?
So this is the whistle I use, and it gets pretty loud. So I've used a Fox 40 before since I did basketball, and it doesn't compare to this one. No.
Yeah, I heard Kevin do all kinds of different sounds with his. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, let's
All
get
right.
it.
So that's basically what you need: a watch to keep time, just in case whatever electronic scoreboards they have may go out. At least you'll have something to keep track of it.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's pretty much for the supplies. So if you're doing basketball, you should roll right into it. Just purchase a shirt and some of the equipment, of course. And a set of flags will be helpful. This is for your line judges.
Is it red and white?
These are a little fancier, cost a little more, but they do have little wooden ones that, I don't know, back then it was like $10, $8.
Yes, sir.
These are a little more like 30, 35. So if you plan on staying in, invest in a decent set. Now, mind you, these kids will play with them and tear them up, so. Spin wisely. All right, what are we gonna go over? We talked about the court, we talked about the uniform, we know a little bit about the game now. I've never played, some of y'all may have, and that's great, because you'll understand it a lot quicker. But doesn't mean that just because you never played, doesn't mean you can't be a good referee. So, since I've never played, I think I've done okay.
All right.
So, it's just, like I always tell people, you're gonna get out of it what you put into it. You know, the biggest thing is getting in that rule book. I think it's 26, 27 for this year. Because I think they do it for 2 years or something. Last year was 24, 25. So hopefully this year they come up with a new one. All right.
Sir,
Put the,
have you seen a lot of the rules change?
No, this year's there's not a lot of rule changes.
Okay.
I listed them.
Because in basketball, it's like they're always changing rules.
Where did I list the changes?
The second page at the top.
Rules changes right there. Okay, undergarments. Players wear undergarments. It could be black, white, or gray, right? And it can also be the predominant color of their regular
Uniform,
jersey.
yeah.
If it's white, it could be red, it could be blue. But if one wears undergarment, anybody wearing undergarments must be the same color. Now, braces and things like that does not count as part of your uniform. So if they got those sleeves or some kind of brace for their elbows, and then it can be any color. The libero could be completely different as long as they're contrasting. Okay? All the players, regular players have to be identical. You may run into that problem with HCal because they work with a lot less budget. So be aware of it, let the coaches know, let KB know, that, you know, after your match is over, inform him that there may be some issues. But we're not gonna cancel any games because of that.
Right.
Okay, so we want the kids to play. But the libero has to be contrasting. Don't put a black and a navy blue libero. You can't tell the difference. You know, we have officials that are colorblind, so they can only see shades of gray. But that's their issue. That's a different issue. But as far as normal, like if you're wearing black, let's go red or white, something that's contrasting that we can immediately see on the court. So this year, they're adding 15 seconds to the warning whistle. Instead of blowing it at 2:45 during the intervals, we're gonna blow it at 2:30. Okay, which gives us more time, gives the players more time to get back on the court, allow the flow of the game to continue. Because if you give them 3 minutes, they're gonna take all 3 minutes and then some. So once you blow that warning whistle at 2:30, coach, girls need to be back on the court. We gotta hurt them a little bit. Don't just stand there and wait for them, because you may be there for 5 minutes. And that's just longer it's gonna take you to finish your match.
Exactly.
Get on home. All right, and players that are on the serving team cannot put their hands above their head, because they feel it could be a potential screening issue. Like when, they bunch up in the front, they put their hands up and they serve right over them. Used to, the ball had to be in low trajectory and the speed and close proximity of the players. Now they're just making them drop their hands, which kind of helps us. We don't need to police it as much.
What's that whistle if they do have their hands up?
Screening is this.
Okay.
I think it's signal number 8.
That accounts for screen.
Okay.
That's an illegal block or screen.
Okay.
All right, and teams are allowed to designate 2 liberos now. 0, 1, or 2 per set. Liberos are what they call defensive specialists.
Please come in. You see that?
They can only play in the back row.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot rotate to the front. There's certain things they can and can't do, okay?
They can sub in whenever, yeah.
They cannot sit in the front zone with overhand finger action, because if that happens, the next attack, the ball's above the height of the net, it would be a illegal back row attack. So you gotta be aware of that. If your libero's in the front zone, we have that 10-meter line or 3-meter line, 10-foot attack line. If their toe is like that, they're on that line. They have to be completely off of it. So you gotta focus on that line when they take off and allow them to do this or, however they get there. But as soon as they touch that line and you see them going up with fingers, you gotta see where that next attack's coming from. A lot of times they'll say, stay down, but H-Cal, players are not that skilled, so they're gonna do whatever. But it's up to us officials to make sure we make the right call. And even the coaches may not know it, so we have to know the rules and know how to apply them, okay? And same thing in the back. If your libero sits in the front zone, girl coming out of the back, she may not be on that attack line, but if she's attacking the ball above the height of the net, that's still illegal. So that's the one time you gotta watch for that libero. If she bumps it, everything's fine. Yes, sir.
My question is, say that the 2 liberos per set,
Yes.
can they switch back and
Yes,
forth?
they can switch in and out.
No, I'm saying for different sets, can they
Oh, yeah.
have different?
They can play in the same set.
I thought only one libero could play each set.
That's, like I said, this is a new rule this year.
Okay.
They allow 2 liberos to participate.
So the next set, it could be 2.
It could be 2, 1, or none. Depends how the coach,
Okay.
maybe they're having a crappy day and I don't want to use a libero.
Okay.
Now, they can put them in a regular uniform
Okay.
and then they can play as a regular player.
We hired security.
And I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Discussion back here. So on the 2 rows per set, can 2 be on the court
No.
at the same time?
No,
It's
only
2
one,
per set.
only one libero can be on the court at one time.
Perfect.
And they can never rotate into the front row.
Right.
So what you'll see a lot of times when they rotate to the left front, they're gonna go back to serve.
Right.
That's the only time they can stay on the court. Other than that, they have to exit the court, stay out of rally, and come back in. So liberos can come in for liberos. So a lot of teams that have used 2, one will play, they side out, the next one will come in. they alternate, basically. But know that whoever that regular player she came in for has to go back in for the libero.
Right.
So that's, we have an assistant scorekeeper at the table,
So
but
that's-
again, each
yeah.
guy's a little different. They don't always have the proper people at the table. So that we have to pregame that with them. Yes, sir.
So, just to be clear, libero can sub for another person, not necessarily libero.
It's not a sub. They're not considered a sub. They
Okay,
can,
so.
it's
Coming
eliminated.
into that.
It's a libero replacement, and that occurs between the substitution zone and the end line.
Right, so, so one libero,
Goes in,
yeah, because the one is on the, what we call it, the left back, or what
Okay.
it's called. He or she is going out, one can come right in.
no, you can only have one libero on the court at one
Yeah,
time.
but she's subbed out, she's already out
Okay,
of the, so can one come in, the second libero, can they come in?
for who?
Well, that's the question.
Well, no, you have to set out one rally. Because if she's coming in, somebody's going out,
Well,
You got a
what I'm saying
libero on
is
the
we got
court.
the left, I guess we call it the left back, right?
Okay.
So we're about to go to the front row, but I can't because I'm a libero, so I'm going
she
out.
goes out.
So now we got another, the second libero, can they come in right now?
No, they have to set out one rally,
They or either.
either the liberos.
Okay,
They have to
because the
set out
that's
one
going
rally
out is
before they
about to
come
sit
back
out.
in.
And this person that's coming in is already set out.
No,
That's-
but you have a libero on the court.
But yeah, so
So
that,
they're, look at them as one player.
okay.
They're just
there
two
we go,
different,
there we go.
they're two players, but it's one position.
Okay, there we go.
Ah.
That makes sense.
All right.
Perfect.
Liberos can be captains also. So if you have a libero as a captain, ask the coach before the match starts, who's gonna be your alternate, because at some point, she's gonna have to come out. Okay?
So you say can't,
They can be a captain, whereas in the past, they couldn't.
Okay, use the word can, okay.
All right? They started this last year, they implemented the doubles rule, but it's a delay whistle. So we still have to watch for contact. But what makes it illegal, as long as it stays on their side, they can mangle it, do whatever, just like first ball over, it can hit them multiple times. But as soon as it completely crosses the plane of the net, that becomes a violation. We're gonna say tweed, points going this way, because it's a double. Or if it's intercepted by the opponent, a block. So let's say they try to set the ball outside and it goes over and the defender blocks it, that constitutes an infraction. Okay? So don't just let them playground ball, We have to know what the rules are and know how to apply them so that we can give them a fair game, And like I said, coaches, you gotta explain it to them sometime. It's not a double until it completely crosses. So if, I'm setting the ball and it's a terrible set, but my player, my teammate touches it before it goes over, it's legal. Okay, so understand what that is so that when it happens, you're anticipating it and you can call it. All right, those are the rule changes. Lineups and rosters. Coaches will provide you a lineup. Well, the roster will be presented at the captain's meeting. The lineups will be provided by the coaches, like 2 minutes before the time warm-up. The time warm-up is about 10 minutes, 5, 5, and 2. So by 2 minutes, that's part of our responsibility as the R2 to make sure we get those lineups in so that we can record it on the score sheet, and that way we can start the match. And in between sets, it's 1 minute, okay? Because we got 3 minutes in between sets. They're talking to their players, going over strategy and all that. But come 1 minute, start heading over there to the coaches. Coach, I need your lineup. That way it gives your scorekeeper time to write everything in. And you'd want to see a captain on that lineup sheet. Don't just hand it straight to the scorekeeper. You as the R2 should look at that lineup, make sure there's no duplicate numbers. We can't have two players on the court with the same number, or sometimes they make a mistake, put a libero in as a starter. We got issues, okay?
So I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
question. What is like the infraction for them not having their roster in on time or double numbers? Like, do they get extra points?
No, double numbers, you just, again, that's why we look at it before we hand it to the scorekeeper, right?
Yeah.
That way you're doing preventive officiating and you're not causing any delays and you're not penalizing them.
There's no kind of punishment?
There is. If
Okay.
they don't turn the lineup in, it's a loss of rally.
What does that mean? Sorry,
It's a
I'm
loss
not
of
a
point.
basketball player.
You lose a point.
Yeah, okay.
So the,
Gotcha.
you know, let's say you're serving, loss of rally, the other team's serving now.
Okay.
Okay.
But we don't want to hit them right off out of the gate with that, right? We want to be sympathetic a little bit,
Yes,
but
sir.
that's why we go over there and talk to the coaches. Coach, you know, we need your lineup.
We need to fix this,
Let's
yeah.
get it going,
Yeah.
you know? Give them a little time. I mean, it's just like a 3-second violation, right? You're not gonna call it at 3. So, give a little leeway.
Yeah. You talking to that ref? You talking to that ref? 3 seconds.
So on the lineup, you should see a C next to the number of the captain. Like I said, if they put if they make the libero the captain, make sure they put a little A, you know, on one of the other players. Or that other player may not be in the game or on the starting lineup. Sometimes they'll sub, you know, the right front and the left back.
Right.
They substitute like that, and whoever comes in for her. So if you know that the libero's the captain, you just say when they go out, coach, who's your new captain? Floor captain.
Oh, okay.
So if there's any issues, we know who to talk to. How you doing, sir? Yes, sir.
Don't they usually bring the captains up at the coin toss in your pregame meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that all occurs at the captain's meeting.
But we should also have the captain on our card too as well, right?
On your card,
Other than,
the card that you keep.
yeah, the card that you keep waiting.
No, because the captain at the coin toss may not be the same as the floor captain. I don't even bother with that.
Okay.
You know, people, I'm the captain. Why am I gonna write it down if that's not gonna be the same person that's gonna be in the
Right.
starting lineup? Just acknowledge him as a captain, do your coin toss, whatever. Whoever wins, let them decide, and then when the actual lineup comes in for the match, you'll see on there.
Right.
And they have to, they should show it anyway.
Right.
So if they don't show it, just say, hey, coach,
Who's the captain?
who's your captain? I need you to
Boom.
indicate it.
Easy.
And they need to sign the lineup to make it official. All right. So, high school ball, 5 seconds to serve. They get 1 reserve per term of service, meaning if I serve, I score a point, I serve, score a point, throw it up, drops, retoss. The next time she does it, it's gonna be a violation. 1 term of service. Okay? The player substitutes for that player, that person has 1 retoss.
Okay.
So those are things, little things you'll see in your rule book. But I just want to bring those little quick things. That way you hear it, when you come across it, you'll understand what it is. During play, you have live ball, dead balls, you know, what constitute a contact, you know, net play. That's where a lot of your faults are gonna occur, is that when the play's at the net. So as they are too, you're focused on net, bringing them down to the floor. And then once they transition, you'll get that on the court. You know, you'll get training out there. But I'm here to explain to you, as the R2, you're there to assist your partner, you're a team. R1, R2. So you're gonna bring, everything happens. Third contact, there's play at the net. You bring them, you look at the top of the tape because they're gonna be up there blocking, right? You're gonna be on the defensive side 99% of the time. So you're gonna watch and see how they come down. If they touch the net at any point, it's a violation. Or if the other team touches the net, it's a violation. So you're gonna watch the middle of the tape, watch them when they land, because in high school, anytime you bring your foot across that line, it's a violation. This is okay, right? I'm still over it. But this, I'm on the other side, that's a violation. And a lot of times on the attack side, the follow through is what a lot of people miss. They'll hit the ball and then their fingertips will go right into the net. So as the R2, focus that those are your responsibilities. Okay? And the R1 makes 99% of the decisions. You know, R2s can call nets, center lines. They can help out with certain things. You know, if you feel like your partner's blocked out on a play, give them some discrete signals. You see the player jump from and they're touching the 3-meter line. You pregame all of that. You know, some people like to watch, the R1 focuses on the ball above the height of the net. They may not see things as well, so they may ask you as the R2, hey, you get the feet, see where their takeoff point is. And then that's how you communicate. Substitutions, 18 subs, that's a lot. So hopefully you won't use them all, but if you do, it's gonna be a long match. All right, Libros are unlimited, they're replacements, they're not counted as sub. Again, liberos, you can use 1, 0, 1, or 2 per set. Timeouts, you get 2 per set, per team. They're 1 minute long. At 45 seconds, you give them a warning whistle. And then once the clock goes off, that ends the timeout. Put them back on the court. Scan your court, give the court back to your R1. This is how we give the court back. With an open hand, towards the net. If you're on this side, go this way. If you're on this side, go this way. Try not to be centered on the pole because nobody can see you. That pole, depending on what the structure of it is, and sometimes they put padding around it, you may disappear. Okay? So get to one side or the other. If you're on this side, timeout. You can point to the court. When you come back after timeout's over, give the court back. Always outside hand, because here, you may blend right into the net, right? So be far enough from the pole that you can give the court back. That's basically unless you guys got some specific questions, we can go over situations and be glad to help answer some of those. I know there's a lot. I mean, as R1, you should have an opinion on every play. This is one of the sports that you can't take time off as the R1. R2, you may be able to, right? Because you're handling other responsibility duties. All right, but as the R1, your job is to make the final decision. And that's 99% of the time, unless your R2 has a call that you're just gonna agree with them and award the point. Now, should we go over signals? That's why I printed these out for you.